Speaking with Nightly News exclusively via telephone on Wednesday, first Vice President of the Guyana Public Service Union, Don Gardner, informed that the union is strongly contemplating legal action against the newly reinstated Chief Executive Officer of the Linden Hospital Complex, Rudolph Small. Gardner alleged that during the fiery protest at the hospital on Wednesday morning, Small assaulted one of the nurses as she, along with others, were calling for his immediate removal.
To the extent where her cell phone was damaged. She had already made a report to the station, so we're hoping that the police would take legal action against him. And this thing has stemmed not only its move away because a politician, some political advisor also was abusive this morning to one of the nurses and the police officer, so he is currently in custody.
The union is maintaining that Small should not only be dismissed from the hospital, but prevented from being placed at any other institution in the country. Small came under fire for his utterances in a recent news article accusing some nurses at the institution of reporting to duty at night, signing in, then getting away to sleep with their sweet man or extramarital lover. He further disclosed that those same nurses would then go back to the hospital and sign out the next morning. His comments were harshly rejected by staff at the hospital, primarily nurses, who chided him for being disrespectful to them. The Guyana Public Service Union got involved on Friday last and supported the nurses in calling for Small's dismissal. Subsequently, in a meeting with the nurses, Small apologized for his callous statements and assured them that he's willing to move forward for the betterment of the hospital.
Those who say they cannot accept the apology, you have a right to your feelings, but I know deep in my heart, I am sincere about what I'm saying.
Calls for Small's apology from the union and the nurses went unanswered, resulting in more than 120 nurses engaging in protest action on Monday. Small was removed from his post of Chief Executive Officer of the hospital on the said day. In a letter dated March 1, 2021, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Malcolm Watkins, advised that a decision was made for him to be removed with immediate effect. In another correspondence dated March 2 from Watkins, it was outlined that a decision was taken by the ministry to reinstate Small as Chief Executive Officer of the hospital, effective March 3. Upon his arrival at the hospital on Wednesday, Small was greeted by infuriated nurses who protested his sudden reinstatement. Small also issued a written apology to the affected nurses on Wednesday. In his letter, he pointed out that when he assumed his post as Chief Executive Officer of the hospital in November 2020, he committed to managing the hospital in the best interest of the people of Linden and Region 10. When contacted, Regional Vice Chairman of Region 10, Douglas Gittins, reiterated that the Regional Democratic Council is still unwilling to work with Small. He highlighted that the nurses are prepared to escalate protest action if Small is not relieved of his duties by Friday.
The regional chairman wrote a letter to Mr. Small saying that we have no confidence in it and we are working with a timetable. Some persons said 10 days, but the GPSU said up to Friday.
Okay.
If that doesn't happen, I'm not saying we said this, the nurses themselves said it, that they will shut the whole thing down. Because right now they are behaving responsibly and they are having a skeleton staff at the hospital.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the region, Darren Adams, in a Facebook Live post, called on the acting Chief Executive Officer of the hospital to respect the wishes of the nurses.
CEO, acting, Dr. Harris, needs to give us and respect the wishes of the nurses, and let us begin the process of having somebody else take up the post at the Linden Hospital Complex.
Also weighing in on the issue was opposition leader Joseph Harmon, who described government's actions of reinstating Small as insensitive.
Since he was dismissed and now reinstated, this is the way the PPP regime sees women, sees our frontline workers, sees our nurses who are performing these duties in Linden.
Temika Rodney reporting for the Gspu Nightly News.